Shay here. Welcome once again to the Imaginary Gallery. Tonight's question is, are you in an abusive relationship? Well, there's a way you can test this, and we got to set the setting or the stage first. If you're on here looking, you're probably seeing some red flags. So, can you relate to a situation where, let's say, early on in your relationship, you mentioned how angry you were at your last partner because he or she stole $10 out of your wallet and it really bothered you? Well, if later on down the line, after the claws are sunken, after you've gone through all the love bombing and you're thinking this is going way too fast, you have every right to be questioning things, because remember, real things don't normally go that fast. They take a while to blossom. So if you are suspicious that maybe your partner is not really being who he says he is, and might be a cluster B, sociopath, psychopath, any of the cluster B personality disorders, and well, there's a way you can test it. Chances are you told him something like that about the last one stealing from you. So he already knows that bothers you. So if you, for example, after several months of seeing each other, you find out $11 is missing from your billfold, well, again, that's a problem, because uh, the money was stolen. He knows your thoughts on that, and if he was smart, he'd be asking you if you wanted money, like, hey, I know how you feel about stealing. Is it okay if you loan me? But he didn't do that. Let's say he just took it and you found out. Well, he's probably an abusive person, because, again, a person who really loved you, like they said in the love bombing, would never take your money or do anything that even resembled stealing because of your thoughts on it. So if he did it and you confront him about it and ask, there's a way to test. Okay, if he is not abusive, well, probably he wouldn't have even done it. But let's just say, for the example, he is not abusive. Well, if you did bring it up to him that it really bothered you because you told him how you didn't like thieves, and then here he stole, well, he'll probably, uh, if he's not abusive, which is very, very unlikely, but he might give you a sympathetic response where he actually realizes what he's done and maybe shows a bodily reaction, like a red face, or like, oh, I didn't even think of that, or something. But chances are you won't get that kind of response. You'll probably get something more like a fake excuse, like, oh, I was going to give it back tomorrow, or oh, you were busy, or something foolish like that. If you get something like that, it's him trying to keep you in and fool you, and to say you're being too sensitive or something. That's a sign of abuse, because he's not taking into account your personal feelings about what you've experienced, because the facts are there. You got $10 stolen from your last one, and now he's tried to top it and one up the other one by getting $11. That seems like a joke. It probably is, and he's laughing at it in private, because he's wearing a mask. He's pretending to be uh, your perfect lover, is what we probably is the case. Hi, honey, I'm your perfect lover. I'm your perfect lover. Oh, I would never do anything to hurt you. Yeah, well, anyway, he took the $11. So another sure sign it's abuse is if you say something like, I can't believe you took $11 from my purse, and you might get, look, I already told you why I did that. Get over it. That's a sign of abuse, because he doesn't care that it bothers you. So look out if you're dealing with someone like that, who, even if you approach them in a nice way and say, honey, it just made me feel terrible when I found that money gone, and you'll hear, would you drop that subject? I already told, what is wrong with you? And that, of course, they could use with their blind monkeys and tell them, she won't let it go that I did this thing. I only did it because of that. And she thinks, but that's a different video. But the point with this one is that the way I'm explaining all this is how it's abusive is this. It's denying you of your own reality. Because I have an example to illustrate this one. It would be, let's say when you're a child, you go to the movies every weekend, and you learn to associate cold air with movie theaters. So let's say you go over to your friend's house and they've got the air conditioning on really high. Well, you might go in there and say, "Wow, I think of the movies every time I come here." And they might say, "Why's that?" Well, it's because of your childhood experience of cold air reminds you. I mean, anybody that has a full spectrum of emotions and empathy and then would be able to relate to that and think, "Oh, I could see that. It does make sense. Yeah, oh, it is the same." They'd agree with you. Well, if you were to approach this potential abuser and say, when I found that you stole that $11, it really made me think of my ex and how I felt enduring that. And if you get, "Don't you dare compare me to him. I'm nothing like him," the chances are you are dealing with an abuser. Because, like with the when you're simply telling your experience of you're going through the same feelings as you did before, well, that's you and your personal experience. That isn't up for anybody to approve or deny. But here he is saying it's completely false. He's not even saying anything like, "I can see how you feel that way," or he's just saying it's all rejected. Because again, these abusive people, narcissistic personality disorder, and other cluster B people, they have to win. They have to win everything. So in this case, they could have set this whole thing up just to get you all upset, and they know you want to try to resolve it because they know how you hated it before. So it's like a perfect button to push, and they smash it in. So the more you try to take the bait and try to get him to understand how it's so painful for you, the more he's going to resist and tell you how horrible you're being for even bringing this up, and that he told you he was sorry and what's wrong with you and you're abused. And he basically does what they all do, is turn themselves into a victim. They're always the victim. "Oh yeah, the last one they stole from, oh, she stole from me and then beat me up." But it was the other way around. So be careful. And I know you probably have some kind of hook in this person and you want to stick with them, but if they're giving you answers like this, responses like that, where they're not even acknowledging at all the fact that you might be upset, yet that doesn't fit with the love bombing when they cared about every little concern you had because you didn't know what they were like yet, well, think about it and seriously consider your next step. And don't tell them someone told you that what you just did was abusive, because that will be a different video. But you'll be you will be you will lose that one, even if you hit the nail on the head. Have a great evening. Get that monster out.